What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Listen Diamond, episode 15. We're back again with my sister and Pedro. There you go, you guys.
You're,
Last time she was like, "Okr."
Okay.
she can't roll her R's.
Oh, really?
I can't.
I didn't notice that.
I can't.
Well, that's embarrassing. Okay, so basically, we're gonna talk about what's it like being the older sibling. So I want to ask you, Pedro, because you're the
Yeah.
oldest sibling between you and your sister, right?
Yep.
Okay. What's it like being the older sibling?
I mean, for the majority of our life, up until I would say you're 6-7 years ago, I always treated her as if she was my daughter. I never treated her as a sibling.
Really?
Yeah, no. It was funny because I was literally talking to you about that yesterday, and literally, I was always. Still, I'm overprotective of her. If anybody messed with her, like in school, she had a bully. I didn't care if I was like in the 3rd grade and she was in like pre-K. I would beat that 4-year-old.
How many
ass.
years apart are you guys by any chance?
We're 4 years apart.
Okay, so that's not that much.
Yeah, no. But it was always like,
Me and Chris are 4 years apart.
Yeah, but me and you are like 6, and then me and Chris are 10. Yeah, you guys are closer by to each other.
can you even say that?
No.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, I always used to treat her as like pretty much my daughter. Honestly, I was
Mhm.
always super protective of her,
Mhm.
especially when we were in elementary school. But then obviously as the years went on and she got older, that's when I really started treating her as more like a sister
Mhm.
and like a friend, because siblings are more like friends. I guess you could say, like, feels more like friends than family in a way,
Mhm.
but you just love them at a deeper level.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, now that we're older, she's her own person,
Okay.
obviously, and her and I were, I would say, polar opposites.
Mhm.
She would vouch for that. But I still, obviously,
Okay.
I'm still very like protective of her and always try and hope
Okay.
that I can have a helping hand in whatever I can do.
For her, yeah, awesome. That's great to hear. I have the whole opposite.
Well, I just want to say the other day,
Uh-huh.
Pedro was his sister and I and Pedro were talking, and I guess he felt like some fatherly instinct to be like, consider my dad, you
To the
know?
sister?
Yeah, and she was
Oh,
like,
wow.
Pedro, no,
Uh-huh.
and he kind of felt like
Santa Claus?
sad,
Oh, like Santa
and
Claus.
I was looking at him, and it kind of like. It warmed my heart, but it also was like, and I looked at him and I'm like, I think I was like, do you kind of feel like a dad? I'm like, no. I was like, your sister's 21, right? Like, you can't just be asking her to sit on your lap. He was
Yeah, she
like,
ain't gonna do it.
he's like, yeah, but and I got the vibe that he was just like, kind of like a little bit in dad mode. And she kind of looked at him like he looked like a crazy ass. And I looked at him like, yo, you can't be asking your sister that shit.
Yeah. I mean, now it's
their
different because you're
their family's so
grown.
affectionate.
Yeah.
It's normal.
But it's different because you guys
But
are
when
grown.
I peeped that, I
and
was like, yo, wake up. She is an adult.
she's grown. Yeah.
Like, she gonna look at you like you crazy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you literally looked at her like, come on. And she was like, no.
Yeah, because I literally told her this morning, I'm like, Oli, every time I look at you, I still see you as that little toddler
Hmm.
every single time.
Well, I didn't
It's
have
so
that
cute.
experience when I was growing up. I guess it was different for us because you had both your parents. My mom was just a mom. She was like our mom and dad, but I was kind of like forced to kind of having to be that other
Adult.
adult, yeah, I would say, because she had to work and do all these adult responsible things. So I would be the one having to like take care of them, like babysit them and all this stuff. And they weren't the best, easiest kids to take care of.
I think I always was. I think I
No,
was a
they were
dumb
annoying
child.
as fuck.
I just like to
No,
go in
don't even
his
lie.
room and just like
No, they
fight
loved
him.
they
That
loved
was my best
bugging.
memory of
They
Jonathan.
loved bugging the shit out of me. And
Sorry, I'm
growing
really
up,
sorry.
I was the type of kid that I just like to be left alone.
Sorry.
I like to be just
didn't
doing my
know.
own thing and in my own room. Like, I'll pay attention to if you guys are not, killing yourselves or anything like
Right.
that. But I would not want to be left alone. So when they bug me and bother me, I know it's playful, but at the time I was a kid, so I was like,
At that age, I only
I
thought
want to
about
beat
like.
your ass type of thing. I was like not having it, so it was very frustrating and annoying. Especially, I will never forget when we were living in New York. There was this one time that mom, I guess, had to work, and then that in where we used to live in the apartment building, in the basement. The basement was like the laundry
Room.
room, but like outside of the
It
laundry
had
room,
like
they
an
had like this
escalator.
very long
Yeah.
yard type of
Mhm.
thing. It was open.
Mhm.
There was one time where like my friends were the kids in the building, because we all had like gone to the same school, and they were playing like some sort of like baseball or something outside in that basement, area. And I couldn't go because I had to stay home and do all this, like, help my mom out type of situation.
Yeah, get to be
But
the other adult.
it bugged me because I'm like, why am I not like have my freedom and do some stuff, like
That it wasn't fair for
just
you. That
play
you didn't
and
get
do
the chance to have that
exactly.
childhood.
And then I don't, and then I have to do this, and it's annoying. And obviously at the time you don't understand that you have to, like, my
How
mom
important it is.
doesn't have anybody else, so she kind of has to count on you to kind of help and all this stuff. So in that aspect I didn't really understand as a kid because I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now I was like, okay, I know better. But before it was just very frustrating that even one point I wanted to run away from my house. But now it was because of like my siblings, but it was because of my mom too. That was a whole other situation. But yeah, like, I hated being the older sibling just because of that reason when I was growing up. But now as we're older, we kind of relate more. We have more, I guess, similarities. And we've gone through like adult experiences, so we can relate more. Like with Christopher, I can relate tons more now, whether when we were younger. And same goes on Amanda too, so we have more in common, I would say. But growing up, it was not easy. It was not fun, I would say.
In my perspective, all I remember about my childhood is that you took care of us, and like you would just be in your room like vibing, and then Christopher and I would just be so bored that we would just innocently, like, we just wanted to play around with you, but we also wanted to bother you at the same time, so we would go into your room.
Yeah, it's like regular sibling stuff,
But we
which I
didn't know
get.
how fucking fed up you were with it, because we literally were so innocent minded that we
Yes.
thought that like you were annoyed, and at some point, and then maybe low key you thought it
Yes.
was funny, because all my memories like in living in a certain apartment was just us like hacking into your door because you would lock it all the time, but we would find a way to open it and just go in and bother you and like just
Yeah.
play fight with you, and then you would play fight with us back. And honestly, those were the best memories that I had, just like messing around with you. And literally, I just think about like the times that we would try to bully you and you always whoop our asses. We
Yes.
didn't know that you were
I would
like,
whoop their
suicidal.
ass. I would literally be hitting them in the same
Yeah, he
spot.
was, but we didn't
constantly.
care. We didn't
Yes,
care. We
they
were
didn't.
fucking like
They
bulletproof.
didn't.
We were like,
They
yo,
were
keep
testing
doing
my
it.
patience. They were like my fucking dog right now,
But I
Lexi.
didn't
They were like
know. I didn't
they
know.
were
I
testing
was so young. I didn't
how
know.
they were testing my patience of how far out my temper could go. And I was just like, you guys are bugging the shit out of me, and I'm just trying to be calm and just like chill.
I didn't know.
And
I
you
would
guys
have
coming at me,
stopped if I would've
and I was
known.
like, I was not having it because it's just so. And then on top of that, like there was a point where my mom was letting me have a little bit of freedom to hang out with friends. I would go out to my friend's house or whatever, and Amanda would want to come along. I get that she was bored at the house. I get that she wouldn't have anything to do and all this other bullshit, but I wanted to be away from the house, and she wanted to tag her little
I get
ass
that.
along with me.
I get that.
And it was kind of like, it
That's
was very
frustrating.
frustrating because my
Yeah.
mom would be like, no, porque tú no quieres que
That's
tu
foul.
madre-"
That's foul.
And I was just like, Mom,
That's
I'm
fucked
trying
up.
to leave the house. Like, I'm trying
Yeah.
to get away, and you're having her come with me.
Bring
Like,
her
what the fuck?
ass.
And then it's not like she has somebody her age to relate to
no,
to
I
hang
was
out
a
with.
loner.
We were all older, so it's kind of like, why the fuck? She's like, no, para ella salir la casa too. And I'm like, no, it's not like that.
But like my perspective was that when we would bully you, that you were so frustrated or whatever, we didn't know that. So I thought that you were just having also fun with us and just beating our asses, like just for the fuck of it. So when you would go out with your friends, I didn't think it was a bad idea to ask you or to ask mom to go with you, because I thought like, oh, my brother loves me, he loves my presence, you know. And I didn't know that you didn't really like dislike it. And I would always have a good time hanging out with your friend. You would always hang out with a specific friend, and it was always a good vibe. And like the older that I got, and now that we're living together, you know, my friends became your friends, and now we all go out. And I love that. Like, I love that shit. A lot of people can't say that they hang out with their siblings and with their friends at the same time. Like, it's just two different worlds. So looking back at it, I'm like, damn, I feel so bad that Jonathan did not like my
But at the
presence
same
there. But at
time,
the end of the
no,
day,
but at the
like,
same time, even
how
like for
funny
good, for
is
good
it?
example, even to now, like she has her own
Uh,
friends that she hangs out with that I don't, you know, like like you were gonna mention for this week, you're gonna go out to your friend's house, to Zuleika's house, right?
uh.
I'm not gonna go to that. You're
Well,
going to
no,
that.
yeah, because well, look,
So you
Zuleika
have your
considers
own
you as a
time.
friend
No,
too,
I get it, but
but
you
like
have your
sometimes we
own
have our
time.
moments. Yeah,
Exactly. So you have your
yeah.
own
I
time.
was a baby. I didn't know what the fuck that meant.
Exactly. You have your own time to do stuff. So that's what I mean. Like you get your own time, and that's awesome. But
Real quick, I just want to mention one thing. What happened to keeping people's names private?
fuck that. Zuleika's coming on later on because we have a discussion.
Well, let me tell you
to talk
something. Out of
about-
all my friends, Zuleika's the fucking goat. So
Yeah,
ain't
no,
nothing wrong talking about
Zuleika's gonna come
Zuleika.
on this on not
the
this
goat.
episode, but like
All
on
right.
a future episode to talk about a specific
Why
topic.
you say that?
To-
You-
to talk about a
Zuleika could have been
specific
like
topic.
a cover-up name.
No, but she's gonna come to talk about specific, not topic, but a specific situation that happened
Yeah.
that I find it to be the most hilarious shit I've ever heard in my life. So I need her to come on and talk about it. So she's gonna come later on. But yeah, it's we don't mention people that we don't really exactly or really
Alright, I
want
got you.
to like talk about.
Gotcha.
So we keep them like quiet.
Sugar coated.
But Zuleika's a different topic.
All right, I got you.
She's I'm pretty later on she's gonna come on an episode too, so that's okay. Yeah. But other than that was
But,
my
I
growing up.
apologize because I had no idea that
I mean,
we
it
were
is what it
such.
is. Yeah,
No, it's
that
not.
was
It is
years
what it is.
ago.
We were fucking dumbasses, and
Yeah,
we didn't know.
it was years
But
ago.
honestly, I know you were like going through it, but it was one
I
of the
was going through
best
it.
fucking memories I had because we wouldn't do anything else, just stay at home.
No, I was going
But
through it.
bothering
Like,
you,
they
and you were
stressed me
like
the fuck out.
fighting us back and beating our asses was like the best memories I had growing up.
No, they really stressed me the fuck out.
And you
like,
not wanting me to go out with you and your friends just to their house. Also, like I would remember
I
that, but I
hated
didn't think
that.
it was a big deal at the time because I was so dumb. Like I was legit.
I hated
But
that.
it was
Like,
also one of the best
the one
memories
thing
that I had.
the only thing I wanted was to like leave the house and just hang out with my friends, and then
World, I'm
that's
so
it.
sorry.
That's what
She
I
was
wanted. I
struggling.
wanted just some me time, but it never really much happened. But whatever.
So while you were having the best times of your childhood, you were having the worst times of
Yes,
your childhood.
yes, exactly.
Complete polar
That's like
opposites.
Jonathan's gonna win the lotto one day. He's gonna be
No,
so
but
rich
that's
and he's
why-
gonna just kick us to
That's
the
why
curb.
the one time that I wanted to run away from my house, I was like
I
13.
was like, "Mom, we
I was
can't
like-
lose this man.
I was
He
like
takes
13,
care of
14 years
us."
old. We recently just moved from New York, and things weren't going easy for us the first few years here, especially for my mom. She was going through it, like looking for a job and all that stuff. Like she was struggling hard, and I was struggling hard education wise. And then, yeah, whatever. Over time, it worked itself out and all of that. But I wasn't the type of I even now I still don't have as much friends either. But yeah, it's just it wasn't the best. So when I wanted to run away was because I felt like that much of the responsibility that my mom was putting on me, I felt it being so suffocating. And besides like me having to take care of my brother and sister that never even listened to me, by the way, I had to. My mom was like, there was a point. I don't know if you ever gone through this, but there was a point where my mom called me for every single thing to do, like to get the remote, to throw the garbage, to do this, to do that. Like every single thing, she'd be calling my name. And I was getting so fed up with my own name. I was like, I need time away. I need time away from this family. Like I need just myself time because this is fucking crazy. And I never got to do it because obviously I had wrote like a letter to my mom in Spanish, but I didn't know how to write in Spanish. I don't know. I only knew how to write in English, but she knew how to write in Spanish because in elementary they taught her. They never taught me. So a few days before the day that I was gonna run away, I had told her, and I was like, I'm gonna tell her so she can help me write this letter, but I'm also gonna tell her so she can have like my mom kind of like have some peace of mind that I'm gonna be fine and I'm coming back. I just need some time away. So she helped me write the letter, but then the night before I was gonna go, she told my mom and she showed her the letter. And my mom came to my room that night and she was like, she showed me the letter and she was like, ¿Qué pasó? And I broke down out of like just the frustration and like everything that was going on and that I got caught. And I was like, and then she was just like, ¿Qué pasa? Like, háblame. Like,
Talk to me. What's going on?
exactly. And I was just like, I'm just tired of everyone's shit. I was literally like, I was just tired of this house. And I had planned it out perfectly because my aunt at the time that was living, she had an apartment in Aventura. And my aunt was going to Peru for like a month or two. And she had left, my aunt had left my mom her apartment key with my mom, and I knew where that key was to her apartment. So what I had done was I had googled how to get from like transportation public bus to Aventura to her building, and I was just gonna get the key, take the bus, go over there, be there for like a week, miss school and everything, and then come back and be like, I'm good.
I took my week.
What's up? Yes, exactly. And that's what I was gonna do. And then whatever, I told her and we talked about it, and her resolution wasn't like a regular parent resolution. It was that she knows I love fucking Chinese food. So she brought the flyer of a Chinese place that we order all the time, and she was like, order whatever you want. And they got me to stay.
Food.
Yes, food got me to stay. Chinese food got me to stay, and then that's how it was. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy like doing all that. But the thing was that my mind wasn't about like I have to help my mom. My mind was just like I fucking hate this.
You needed a break.
Yeah, like I'm just
getting overwhelmed.
I'm always just stuck in the house. I'm always having to babysit and do this and do that, and then where's my free time? Like I'm not spending time with friends. I'm not doing anything outside of this family. Like,
how old were you when that happened?
I don't even know. It was from New York until like
Oh no, yeah.
no, but it started before 13 because it started in New York.
Yeah.
Because my mom would be working and then we would be in the house, and then when we come here and then she had my brother and all of that is continued there.
So give or take, you were in your teens.
I was in my
Early
teens.
teens.
I was in my early teens. Yeah, I was in my early teens until I don't know what age. And then yeah, and that's how it was. But
And now I'm living with him.
and now we're living together.
And we have a best time of our lives.
We compromise with things
Some of our
because
best memories are always with my brother.
even
I don't give a
like
fuck what
we've
he
gone
say.
through situations in this apartment for sure.
It's because of my ex. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was. It's because like,
Fuck that hoe.
but like it was because of her ex. But then the thing with that was that I just like with her, and I think with myself, is that we never been in situations and you had to deal with it. So like I never really been in a situation where I had to live where I lived with my sister and she had a boyfriend, and then like how it would be with having that person over or sleeping over or like all that stuff. When she had her ex and that was around COVID, the kid stayed with us.
Mhm.
Like he lived with us for like a good few months when we were all in lockdown. I never necessarily agreed to that.
Yeah.
And that was a huge issue because I'm like, I had explained to her before, but I guess lo olvidó. When we decided to move out of the apartment where we were living with two other roommates,
Mhm.
I was like, I'm only living with you
And you only.
and you only. So if it comes to a fact that like I feel like I'm living with somebody else, we're gonna have an issue because that's not what I signed up for. You know, I respect the fact that you have somebody and all that stuff, but there's boundaries. So we keep it with the boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we didn't. I didn't.
And then yeah, when that certain thing came about and they decided that he can stay here, and I was just like
You know what it was? It was that mom had never been so okay with a relationship of mine. So when she completely accepted my ex, and she was like, "You can come whenever you want," I completely
she
was
said that
blindsided.
she offered him that
Imagine
she was like, you
my
can come,
mother saying that, like,
you can come whenever you want. And I was like, wait, what?
I was like, wait,
we can
what?
come to your
Like, it
house
was
whenever
two
you
different
want.
separate
What the fuck you
reactions.
mean?
And I didn't really like. I was super immature. And I really think about my brother's feelings, and I thought that he would be so like okay with it.
Because she was all in her
And
like,
I was in
oh,
my
this is relationship.
world.
Like this is like
my first
what
time
new
ever
and
like
then-
experiencing something like this. My mother liking my boyfriend, what? And like when COVID came, his parents were like, either you like hang out with her and stay with her during COVID, or you don't see her at all until COVID ends. Like, imagine being put in that perspective. Like, you don't know when the fuck COVID's gonna end, and COVID went on hard for like 2 years. So
I
when my
was
mom
like-
gave that getaway, and my brother didn't like, he had a reaction, but he didn't really say much.
because
I
we're
literally just
we're
went in,
all-
and I was like, "Yo, yeah, he's gonna stay."
we all had that,
And that was
like
fucked up of me.
conversation, all of us here, my mom, my brother, my my sister, him, me, and that just came about, and it was
Pay rent.
like real quick, like, oh, he's gonna stay with us. But the thing was, I wasn't about to, like, one, embarrass her, and two, be an ass to him. I wanted to have a one-on-one with her and let her know about it first, but that was already too late when it was all like agreed upon that he was gonna stay throughout this whole time. And at first, not to like put you under the bus, but she felt like he should not pay for shit when he was here. Like, she felt like
'Cause
she
I was paying
like
for
like
it.
he was a fucking guest and he needed to, like, and I was like, no,
I was paying, guys.
he
I was
better
paying my
like
rent.
be
I was paying my
contributing.
bills.
He's here, he's using up stuff here, he's gonna pay for stuff here. Like, what the fuck do
He
you
wasn't a
mean?
man.
No, I was like, what do you mean?
Asia would've paid
Like,
for those
no, fuck that. I was not having
bills. Asia
that.
would've paid for that.
No,
I wasn't
Asia
having
would've
that.
paid for Lexi's bills.
So imagine the fact that, but first, I was not okay with the fact that that decision was made without like having a conversation about it first. Second, him not paying for shit. Are you kidding me? Like, that was like an even other like, I'm telling you, it was topic after topic after topic that we were like discussing. I'm like, look, we need some boundaries. And as soon as COVID, was like, people were starting to go out and all that stuff, I was like, he needs to be going home. Like, él tiene una casa, he needs to be going back home. I don't, like, it's fine if you guys meet up every once in a while, whatever. But what the fuck he gotta be doing here every single fucking day? And I was like, if you're not here, he better not be here. Like, he has no business being here if you're not here. Like, real talk. Like, it's just no. We're setting these boundaries, and obviously we said it before when we were living together with our roommates because it was different circumstances. But now that this is happening, I'm like, yeah, we need to talk about it. Let's go ahead and discuss and all that stuff. But those topics that we did talk about that had to pertain to him was always an issue.
The
And
thing
we
was
would be
that
arguing
like
about.
like we never really had like a full on discussion. Like, we just had like what irritated us and like what it was. And I was so fed up, and I know that you were fed up, but I didn't really understand your side of it.
I was
you know,
fed
it was
up
very
to the point
immature
that
of me.
I'm like, you know,
No, you
what?
wanted to leave. I remember.
Exactly.
You
I
were
was like, you
bitch, I'm
can.
out.
I don't care what you do. Like, you can go ahead. You can live with the kid if you want. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your life. But I'm not gonna be involved in it. Like, I have my own priorities and my own way of living. You have your own way of living. If we don't like are in the same level and understand each other, then that's not gonna work. So I prefer to get myself out of it and be comfortable and not have to argue all the time or have to like have discussions about things that we never even agreed up in the first place and live my life just tranquilo. I've always been wanting to live my life
Yeah.
tranquilo.
That hurt
So
a
I
lot.
was like, either we figure something out, but if not, then we have to come to like a decision here because I
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable, yeah, like how we're living. So
After after
we
you
need to
made
come
that
up with
clear,
something.
I literally that hurt me a lot, and because I never thought that somebody would want to not live with me. And that hurt me a lot. And I remember having a conversation with him like, look, bitch, my brother wants out. I can't go through this right now. And like my relationship with my brother means more. So we need to figure this shit out because
Because yeah, but
it's not just about like losing like an apartment or like him living on its own. It's just a relationship you have with your brother. And like this was the first time that I ever felt super close to you, and we just weren't communicating. That was it. We weren't
yeah,
communicating at all.
we weren't communicating
and
just because
and I
we were
felt
like
like
we
I
were living
really did
here.
feel lost because I felt like I thought that you would understand, like that, we split everything in half. You would think, like, people think that, oh, because you split things in half, like people will be okay with it, but communication is everything, because sometimes people
Mm-hmm.
are just not okay with things. But if you like communicate with them, then maybe you can come to like
A
a
conclusion or
conclusion, like a
an
barrier, like a
understanding.
middle understanding of like, okay, what we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
next. And like, no offense to my ex, but like, since he was just raised a different way and he was more babied, no disrespect, but like facts, like disrespect, he didn't really come with conclusions, and my conclusions were baby shit, and it always brought like problems. And it wasn't until after like we split that my brother and I were able to talk about like what the fuck happened. I was like, fuck,
Yeah, because
I
when
completely
we
understand where he's
first,
coming from.
the only thing
But
was when we first started living
when
with
we
each
did
other.
have COVID, but like
Afterward,
the
after we talked about
6 months that he
though,
was here, nah, he was
exactly,
rent.
exactly. So, but the thing was that when we first decided to live with each other, it's always been like we were just working and then we just go into our rooms and then
Yeah,
we were
bro.
never
Mom would be like,
talking.
"You guys are like living in a mansion. You
Mansion
don't
because
even
she will
know
ask me,
who's
"Oh, what is sister
home."
doing?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking
Yeah,
know."
he's like,
And then
"Is she?"
she's like,
She's
"Oh,
like, "Is
you
she
guys,
home?"
it's like you guys
I don't
live
know,
like
in a
far apart from
mansion
each
in
other."
two
Yeah,
separate rooms.
but
I'm
I'm
like,
like, I'm
pretty
not on top of
much.
her from what she's doing, and she's not on top of me of what I'm doing, and then
Yeah,
that's it.
and Lexi wasn't here.
Exactly. So, and then that was it. But now it's a whole
No, we
other
were able to
thing.
actually like talk about it and like move on from it and
Yes.
stuff. And like, I really do consider you 100%. Not that like I didn't before, but I was just so immature that I didn't know how to. And because of the experience, like I tell Pedro, when Pedro's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay over," I'm like, "Yo, you need to chill the fuck out.
All
Okay, talk
right.
to my brother."
Well, that's a good topic.